I'm here with Yari Mitchell of AcuFocus. Yari, thank you for joining us.
You bet, happy to be here.
We got a little game here called LinkedIn Bingo I'd like to play.
Oh,
Look at your
great.
your LinkedIn profile and find something curious. You were a member of the debate team in college. How did that come together, and how has that helped you in life?
You know, it's a funny question. I got into the debate team because home ec was full. And, you know, it was probably the happiest accident that's ever happened to me, because I feel like debate has really helped me in every facet of my career. You know, I did it in college, got a scholarship for it, and, you know, every single day that I do something, debate was really behind that. So I couldn't say enough fun things about it. But yes, that's my debate background.
It must really help you in Facebook arguments and things like that as well.
Dude, I crushed the competition. It's amazing.
Little tear emojicons the whole way.
Exactly.
So let's get into the actual subject matter. How'd you find your way into ophthalmology?
You know, I answered an ad in a newspaper to be an executive assistant at a high-tech NASDAQ company.
Wow.
Yep, and that was a company back in Utah, and I met the CEO, and he had a real passionate story about his grandmother losing her vision because of cataract, and, you know, he really wanted to make a difference with cataract surgery, and you know, and that's kind of how I ended up in eyeballs. Is I love what it is that we can do for patients.
Yeah, no, this is a real specialty. Really has, I mean, every specialty has its passion, I'm sure, but the idea of saving someone vision, restoring someone vision, I mean, I think the people here are really driven to help those folks who are having trouble seeing or need their vision restored. So
absolutely,
it's contagious. So I can understand how you remained.
Absolutely.
How did you get to advanced medical optics? Well, you were in advanced medical optics.
Yeah.
How did that happen?
You know, I started, so I moved from the Utah company to Vizex, and then Vizex was acquired by AMO. So that's how I ended up in AMO. And then I took a little sojourn out into genetic testing and realized quickly that ophthalmology was my home, and I needed to come back. And so that's how I found my way to AcuFocus.
Oh. So genetic testing is an interesting detour, and certainly something that's ballooned since, but I'm glad you remained in ophthalmology.
Yep.
Tell us a bit about AcuFocus. How has life changed since the big financing last year?
Yeah, KKR has been a wonderful addition to our family. The money, the resources, the people of KKR have really helped us to take a longer term perspective with respect to the business. So, you know, it allowed us this year to take a pause with the camera inlay business and really focus in on how to, you know, titrate the procedure such that now we've got incredible clinical confidence. We're getting consistent outcomes from practice to practice, patient to patient, as well as it's allowing us to go slow with our IOL so that we can really understand how does it fit in that crowded market space. So, you know, without their support and their resources, you know, we would probably have to take a little bit of a different strategy. So I would say it's giving us the time to do the business right.
Right. So give us an update on camera. How are things going?
Yeah, camera is doing really well. You know, as I mentioned, we've taken a little bit of a strategy change. At the beginning of this year, we were seeing some variability in the outcomes from patient to patient, and we wanted to really hone the technology, well, more the procedure, because the inlay hasn't changed since it was, you know, released, 10 years ago. But the thing that's important is that working inside the cornea is something that surgeons have not done on the regular. So there's not this history like IOLs have, where the surgeons have done cataract surgery for decades, and, you know, they know what's happening inside that part of the eye. In the cornea, we're kind of pioneering that work, and it's a reactive space, so placing something inside the cornea can be difficult. So what we've found is we've sort of have like 3 rules for success. We call that the MOD rules for success. So
right.
M for myopia, right?
Yep.
Acronyms. M for myopia. So you get the best range of vision when the patient has a little bit of myopia, so like -75. We'll sort of extend that range of vision that the small aperture provides. Ocular surface. You've really got to optimize the ocular surface in these patients to get the best quality of vision. And then we finally found the home for the inlay within the corneal space. It needs to be deep. So when you look at the stroma, there's a distribution of keratocyte cells, and they're more dense within the anterior 1/3 of the stroma versus the posterior 2/3. So we target to get our inlay in that posterior 2/3, so nice and quiet space, everybody's happy, and now we see, you know, good recovery of healing, nice range of vision, and great clarity of optics. So MOD rules are making a difference for us with camera.
Awesome. And I see you have a real consistent marketing campaign, really focusing on patients who are benefiting from the lens. That must resonate, just people seeing other people doing better.
You know what? That's the best marketing and advertising you can actually do, is having happy patients, and that's why we're trying to celebrate those stories. You know, one that's particularly close to our hearts is we have an optometrist PhD. She's a teacher at a local university for optometry, and she's had the inlay now for 10 years. And so it's really been great to watch her progression and to see the technology stand the test of time. So yeah, patients definitely are the best way to celebrate and drive more into the door.
Especially an optometrist patient.
Indeed.
That's a twofer.
Indeed.
Give us an update on IC8.
IC8, so excited about the IC8 technology. And it's hard to go into the IOL marketplace because if you look in Europe, for example, they've got 20 different premium lenses that these surgeons could use. So how do you break through that noise? It's really difficult, but that's where the optics of the small aperture are making a huge difference for us. And that's, you know, surgeons are seeing that there's a reason to have the lens in their practice for, you know, maybe a really difficult eye. That's actually where they're starting. It's terrifying to us that, you know, their highly aberrated cornea, their keratoconic patient, their post-RK patient is the place where they decide to start. But once they see success and that actually helps the distal autopsias, for those patients, they start integrating it more thoroughly throughout their practice. So we're listening to the market and really seeing that there may be a unique application for this lens to address what we have figured to be about 11% of the market that's underserved by technology today. So we're really bullish on what this lens is going to be able to do, but we want to take it slow so that we do it right.
Final question, let's just look forward a bit. How do you see lenses and other technologies within ophthalmology evolving over the next 10 years? What are your expectations?
Yeah, you know, I think that's a great question, and you know, hopefully I get the right answer. But I think that, you know, there's a bit of a careful balance that has to be played between technology innovation and what the surgeon actually is going to use. You know, you need to have technologies that are easy for the practice to integrate, they're easy for the surgeon to work with, and they have, you know, they're easy to communicate to the patient what to expect. So I think advanced technologies like accommodating lenses are very interesting. It should be, you know, an easy conversation, but are they going to be easy for the surgeon to implant? I don't know. You know, so it's, you know, there's kind of this plus and minus that you're going to have to, you know, play with the lens technologies. I'd say ultimately, you know, there's going to be a broad spectrum of lenses that surgeons are going to use, and, you know, until at such time as we have gene therapy that can make it such that cataracts don't ever form, I think we can expect to see multifocals, small aperture, accommodating, all playing a space within the surgeon's practice.
Awesome. It's going to be fun to watch, isn't it?
I think so.
Excellent. Thanks for joining us today.
Thanks, Tom. Appreciate it.